I was actually wondering about the history of your race, the Esasani.
Yes.
What was
Well,
it
we
like?
are a hybrid race. We were created, in a sense, along with the other 4 hybrid races on 4 different planets that were, in a sense, what you would call terraformed for us. We are the product of the genetic program between your particular planet and those you call the Greys, which are not really aliens. They were originally humans on a version of Earth in a parallel reality. Once they had created a very high level of technology on that parallel version of Earth, much, much higher, much far beyond where your technology is now. But because they were so focused on the idea of technology, they no longer really took care of the nature. They allowed themselves to strip mine, allowed themselves to deforest, allowed themselves to change the climate in such a way, all in the name of their technology, so that they ultimately looked up and realized that their planet was fast becoming uninhabitable to such a degree that even their technology could now no longer really do anything about it. And at this point, they had also taken themselves so far, altered themselves in such drastic ways in terms of their genetics, their technology, their biology, that they really were almost part human and part machine, and thus could no longer relate to the idea of nature in a variety of ways. They no longer had the ability to reproduce. And so they realized that in order to perpetuate their species, they began experimenting with a number of things. First, because their environment was becoming less and less and less habitable, they moved themselves into underground cities. And in those underground cities, they experimented with their genetics and began to clone themselves over and over and over again, eventually, of course, realizing that this was a dead end. They could not replicate the original human DNA. They knew they needed viable, vibrant, natural, original human DNA to introduce it back into their genetic structure. They created the idea of the hybridization program to use viable human DNA from your Earth and other parallel Earth realities to strengthen their civilization so it would continue. Thus, we are one of the 5 different civilizations that exist right now that are representative of the different continuations of their old civilization. And how the information that we share with you is not only for the purpose of continuing the Greys' original culture from the parallel Earth, but also to help your world not necessarily go down the same path of destruction, because you had many similar traits and still have many similar traits to what it is that brought about the destruction of their version of Earth in their reality. But by disseminating and absorbing this information into your society, you have the option they didn't have. You have the option to take a different path. You have the option to create a reality that you prefer. 2027 is now the focal point when the next phase of contact can begin. It will accelerate at that point in a variety of unexpected ways. There will be more sightings, there will be more synchronicity, there will be here and there on your planet individual and isolated contacts happening. We will not be the first ones to openly contact you physically. There will be another, Yael. They are most similar to you. They are more easily assimilated and can acclimate into your society. And thus, in presenting themselves to you when open contact occurs, another that will come after that. We will be the 3rd civilization to openly contact you, and there will be more after us as those decades progress. Allowing you the opportunity to get used to the idea that you can have neighbors from the stars. And as soon as that becomes something that you are far more familiar with, then other races that are a little less like you can begin to introduce themselves in a constructive and peaceful manner. But it will begin in earnest. The next phase will begin in 2027 and accelerate from there all the way up, as we said, till about 2033. The highest probability is that between those years, 2033, 2040, you will experience complete open contact on your planet
to begin to truly understand your place in the stars and truly begin in earnest your education of the galaxy and a true understanding and connection of creation and existence that will spread you to the stars to explore, to discover more of yourself. So 2027 will be the kickoff point for that, a very strong one, and you will see a lot of different things happening in that year. It will be a very exciting time.